around 2014 to 2017, yes, I've been seeing psychic mediums online because I didn't know anything else to do. I was looking for information. I was dealing with something internally, and I may have paid over $50,000 throughout that time, and I have seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, and I did not know where to go to. Before that, I tried seeing some psychologists, and they just really just didn't work. I had 4 sessions, I just moved on. I saw talking to a psychic online helping me at the time. It did help me emotionally. After seeing hundreds of them, most of them were related around my love life, my own circumstances that I was dealing with at the time and trying to figure my own life. And I did see them as therapists. So that's how it actually helped me. They were many who had their own agendas. Everybody was working for their own reasons there. And I was on website like Kasamba, on Keen. I met some interesting people there, some interesting psychics. And I have no shame in it. I did it and there was a purpose for it. And there was a need. And that need has been addressed. And I don't have these needs anymore for some years now. So what I learned from it is they are, at least in my case, they acted as therapists in their predictions, in their clarity guessing, in their own way of talking to me. They did provide at large information about my life, of what something happened in the past and why that happened and potentially what could happen. But when I speak about potentially the future, it's a very low percentage that what they said will happen actually happens. So take that with a grain of salt. I don't believe that a future can be guaranteed. What I actually believe is potential, and I do believe in us creating our own destiny. And yes, you can and you may receive potential information, but actually that potential information, it's up to you to make it a reality. If you're sleeping all day long and not taking any action to your desired goals, yes, it will never manifest. That's what I learned about it. I have to put the work in. They might give me some ideas, some guidelines, some clarity, but all of that means zero if I don't put in the work. And the work in the first place, it had to do with myself. Initially, I went there because I did not understand why some girl or some lady says X and Y to me, why they don't call me back. But the reality was that I had to deal with myself. I had to grow here internally before I can go and speak with somebody else. Some of them were conscious to tell me this, but many were after my money, and it's okay. I knew what I was getting myself into, and I'm not sorry about it. I'm not ashamed about it. It's just a part of my life that was there, and I learned a lot, and I grew a lot, and I received a lot of emotional support through them. So that's what I get from them. There was clarity. Some of them were really good, and many of them, especially the very expensive ones, I was just paying the brand. I did not get something extraordinary from them, nothing different than anyone else will tell me. Most of the sessions were quite common in what they were giving, but I always took something from each session. Each session complemented the whole journey, and maybe that journey was actually me dealing with my own inner turmoils, and not so much about who did whatever happened around my life. In 2018, I ended up in Peru. I had a profound mystical experience where I really met myself. No psychic medium or anything out there that can tell me what just happened there. I did receive some guidelines from some psychic mediums and mediums about potential experiences that may come. But even Peru was all in my power and my strength to go manifest that. So you have to do the work too. After Peru, everything changed. I no longer went out there. I no longer had the need for a psychic reading. I actually ended up in a college, and now I'm learning about psychic mediumship. And that was in 2018. And today I'm helping psychic mediums build businesses online. Yes, it may have been $50,000. It may have been an investment in myself, in my skill set, in where I am today, in my own confidence, in understanding that I am enough, in understanding that I don't need someone else's acceptance. I don't need anyone else to make me larger than I am. I am me, and that's enough. And I know I'm not the right fit for everybody, and I will never be the right fit for everybody. But I am the right fit for the people who actually need my help. And that's what I got from it. And if you have a need to go see a psychic or a medium, it's best to see somebody maybe in person, or maybe somebody who's training to develop. There's a lot of people on Facebook. There's practice groups for psychic development. Go there and ask for a reading. There are many who just want to practice and in their journey of developing this talent, this skill. So that's usually free. That will be my advice. If you have a need to try it out, online platforms, I don't think will be the key because you pay by the minute. 5 hours later, you're broke already. Just be careful with that. So that's what I take from all these readings I have been getting. I'm happy I did them. I'm happy. I could definitely have used the money in a different way, but I suppose that's what my soul needed in that moment. It was all very, very important in my life. I did not know it then. I went there maybe for other reasons than the ones I would have needed, but going for my love affairs is what took me till this day. And today, I don't ask my fellow psychic mediums, or if I am to pay a psychic medium, I didn't do that in a long time, but I just come with openness. I don't have a certain area I'm keen to know about, and this is my intention. If I am to go, tell me anything you feel guided to tell me, and then I will see how that fits in my life. And really, each session has brought a piece of my puzzle. Every session has been meaningful, and no session is the same, and yet there are common topics that can show up in the same readings. But you have to look at it, because sometimes it's also the energy that's different. It's also the healing that can take place, even though you hear the same thing from grandma, or you hear the same thing that potentially you might do in the future. You have to look at it because there's things that are happening in the background, and maybe that's actually what you are looking for. Maybe that's the reason why you came there for a reading, for a sitting. I was getting them every day before in the past, and I don't recommend doing it like that. If you need a reading, go once every 3 months, go to some practice groups, see professionals working. There's many of them doing online events and demonstrations. You won't find them on platforms. You have to seek them on the internet. You have to go on YouTube. I saw many of them now are on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. First, see how they work. Go to a public demonstration, or what's also known as a group reading. Those are usually free or for a lower entry ticket. And then you can see how they work and if they are the right fit for you. And it takes time to find the right fit. And I have worked with big mediums also. I went to ask for readings from them, and it turns out that often mediums who are developing, who are just starting, they gave me the best readings, and it didn't cost me anything. That's what I take from this. And you take from this what you need. And if you don't find anything useful, let it go out. I only want you to get something that will benefit your life. But remember, this is very important. If you have a need, your actual need might be higher than what you think you need.